You got dumped and you wisely went into no contact after getting dumped. And you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. You've really come a long way since getting dumped, and you're anxious to show your ex how much you've changed, how much you've grown. But how do you actually do that if you're in no contact and you haven't heard anything from them yet? So in this video, I'm going to review these 6 things that you can do right now without violating the principles of no contact that will let your ex know exactly how much you've changed and grown and make them want to take you back. So let's talk about it. Strategy number 1, the social media strategy. Here, you're going to put your best foot forward. There's not going to be any sad posts about how miserable you are. You're not posting sad songs. You're not posting angry rants about how horrible it is being single or how toxic your ex is. None of that BS. Keep your posts positive. Keep them focused. Keep them uplifting. Focus on your achievements, your goals. What are you doing right now that is bettering your life? Your feed needs to reflect your growth and your changes and not your grief. Strategy number 2, the mutual friend strategy. Here, you're going to make a point of not asking mutual friends how your ex is doing. Naturally, they may bring them up, and that's okay. You want to respond briefly and positively, and then quickly change the subject. Say things like, well, I hope they're doing well. I really wish them the very best. I'm doing great and I'm moving forward with my life. And then, hey, how about those Cowboys? No. Don't ask that question. Let your growth be noticed naturally by them, and most likely they're going to be spoon feeding some of that back to your ex. And make sure you're not going out of your way to post pictures out with mutual friends and tagging them in it, knowing that your ex is going to see that. If they happen naturally and organically, that's great, but don't stage that kind of stuff. Strategy number 3, digital discipline. Here, you're going to resist the urge to stalk your ex on social media. You're absolutely not going to look at their Facebook or Instagram stories because guess what? Your name's going to show up on a list of people who have viewed those. That makes you look needy, clingy, and a little stalkerish. If they're trash talking you on social media, you are going to completely ignore that. You're not going to get into the fray. You're not going to respond directly to their post. You're not going to respond with your own posts about it. It needs to be as if you have no knowledge of their posts whatsoever. And if you do have any knowledge of it, you literally couldn't care less. No contact, of course, means complete radio silence, and that absolutely extends to social media. So you're not looking at their social media, you're not liking, commenting, or sharing anything like that, and you're not posting anything on your channels with the intention of getting their attention. Now, let's assume at this point that they have reached out to you in some way, and you are now okay with discarding no contact and starting up a conversation with them. So strategy number 4 is maintaining emotional control. This is mission critical if you are the guy and your ex is a girl, but it still applies no matter what the gender roles. So initially, they're probably going to reach out via text. So when you respond to them, send calm, measured responses. Don't respond instantly because that makes you look kind of needy and clingy, but don't wait hours either because that can come across as either indifferent or manipulative. But you do want to match and mirror their behavior. So if they send a message, you reply to that in a reasonable amount of time, and it takes them hours to respond back to that one, you're not going to respond instantly with your next one if you respond at all. Match and mirror their behavior. If they're sending 3-word texts, don't send a novel back. If they wait 3 hours to reply to your text, wait at least 3 hours to reply to theirs. You want to mirror their level of enthusiasm and not go way above that, but not go way below that either. Now, it's going to be tempting, of course, to talk about the issues that derailed the relationship and dig into all that stuff, and there is a time and place for that. But now is not that time. So no bringing up of past issues. If they bring it up, say, you know what, I've learned a lot since then, and I think, if we continue to have these conversations, we can definitely go there at some point in the future. If they throw jabs at you or test you in any way, and this is not going to be uncommon, if you were emotionally volatile in the past, they're going to want to see if you've really changed. After all, they've been hearing about these changes. Maybe they're seeing mention of it on social media, but they want to know if you've really changed. So they may very well be testing you to see if you've changed. So you've got to pass those tests. You've got to show emotional stability here. You can't be volatile or like a jack-in-the-box where they wind you up and then boom, you explode. You've got to remain calm, centered, positive, and fun. Strategy number 5, and again, this pertains to after you've restarted contact. And here you've got some new standards moving forward with this person, no matter where the relationship goes. You want to have clear, healthy boundaries. You want to set them, you want to be clear about them, and you want to have consequences if they violate your boundaries. If you were a people pleaser before, and this is very common, especially again, if you're the guy and your ex is a girl and she dumped you, women dump guys about 75, maybe 80% of the time. And often it's guys who have an anxious attachment style. So they're needy, they're clingy, maybe they're a little controlling. And the women often have an avoidant attachment style, in which case they kind of push people away, especially clingy guys. So no people-pleasing behavior if that was your style before. If you were going above and beyond, doing everything that they ever wanted and then some, stop doing that. Especially now that you're back to square one. You're not boyfriend and girlfriend again yet. So you should not be doing things that a boyfriend would be doing. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want you to help them in any way. If she's out there somewhere and her car breaks down and she needs you to come jump her car, I don't want you to say no. I do want you to be helpful. You should always be in a relationship with the intention of giving to the other person. However, it needs to be for the right reasons and not so far over the top that it overwhelms the other person with feelings of guilt because they feel like they can never repay you, or they feel like you have some sort of ulterior motive. And often guys with an anxious attachment style kind of do that because they want to sort of buy the other person's love. On a subconscious level, this isn't a conscious thought, but on a subconscious level, often guys like this think that, well, if I can just show her how much I love her, maybe she won't leave me. And that is completely the wrong reason to give to another person. Strategy number 6, authentic growth. You're going to show her, not tell her. You can't tell somebody else that you've changed or that you've grown after they dumped you. You've got to show them consistently with your actions over a period of time. That is the only way they're actually going to believe that you have grown and changed. So show real life improvements. Show that you've addressed previous issues. If you were emotionally volatile, what are you doing now that has changed that? Are you meditating now? Are you going to yoga now? Are you doing martial arts now? What are you doing that has brought about that change? And then make sure they're seeing that. But most importantly, these changes need to be for you. You didn't do all of this just to get them back. You did it for yourself to become the very best version of you that you can be. And they need to know that too. They don't want to feel like this was all just a big show for them. Ultimately, you can get your ex back. Exes come back about 55% of the time. And the reasons that they do come back are exactly some of the things that I've outlined in this video. Doing things for yourself, becoming the best version of you that you can be, and then showing it to them consistently over a period of time. That is how you get your ex back. Remember, I do offer one-on-one consultations. That can be in the form of a Zoom session or a phone call, or you can simply email me your problem. I'll record a custom video just like this one and send it back to you within a couple of days. If you want more info on that, just check out the card right up here in the corner. But let me know your story down in the comments about where you're at on this journey, what you've done since getting broken up with, and where you're at now with regards to your ex. And I'll see you in the next video.